Hello, beautiful people. So, today I want to finally make this video about the 3-5 martyr heretic profile line off of the human design. So, oh, super hyped to talk about this because both my parents, they have 5-3 and my father is a 3-5, and I just cannot emphasize on the reoccurring patterns that I have witnessed throughout my upbringing as a, Venus in Cancer, and also having my son in the 4th house, so, near Taurus. Family upbringing, super duper important to me, like my sense of stability in beginning years of my life is very much healthy because of my domestic connection with them in some kind of sense. So in this video, I will particularly talk about the strengths, the weaknesses of this very profile line and how you can implement this in your own business or whatever you want to create. For when we talk about the profile line, we are looking at a very big part of our life theme. And this life theme, the experiences that we go through in our own unique projected way, the way that we perceive certain experiences, go through it and come out of it, reap the wisdom and benefit from that to share with the people. Understanding our profile line can help us to position ourselves in our business authentically and with the correct reflection of what our life path is about, what we share, what we stand for, what we want to help people practically with, how we can assist people in their personal challenges through the wisdom that we have gathered throughout our life. So now we're talking about the 3 in the conscious and the 5 fifth line in the unconscious, the martyr heretic. We are speaking of someone who is so playful and adventurous by nature, gets bored quick, has this strong piercing resilience to move through life experiences, gain and reap the wisdom out of these personal challenges through their 3rd line of learning through trial and error. Learning through the hardships, learning through the mistakes, learning through catastrophes, learning through life literally freaking pushing you with a hammer. Like no other line, especially the 3-5, because it is on the conscious side. The 3-5s know they know that life at times can be really as if it's punishing them, torturing them. But it makes the 3rd line so strong, and they come with this strength to endure. The 3rd lines are so insanely powerful. They are equipped with the resilience to move through certain experiences and accumulate so much wisdom from that and stories that makes them such a profound, strong, significant person on the conscious 3rd line side. These people are walking storytellers. Now, if you have I think it's the gate 59, the storyteller gate in the throat, if you have that defined, it will even be more part of your destiny to message yourself, brand yourself around your storytelling abilities. But every 3rd line has stories to tell, and these stories must be shared and recognized and seen by people. For we all know that this linear way of sharing stories with our own unique, authentic experience that nobody else has experienced is tremendously insightful and powerful, makes people feel seen and guides them in a certain direction of unraveling the uniqueness of themselves, to feel understood as a friend through their experiences and what they're going through. So the 3rd line learns through trial and error and goes through life with this sense of, I experiment. I would love to just touch everything. I would like to just touch the fire. Fuck it. Just to experience that, oh, I will actually get burned. There's a natural stubbornness. There's a willingness. There's this playful monkiness about the 3-5 lines. Even 5-3 as well. But the 3-5 consciously, the experimentations, it takes a while for these people to really come to grounds and have things more stable and predictable in their life, because they just really, they're kind of like Geminis or Gemini risings. Like they really love the fluidity of different kinds of experiences of life, which makes it so hard for them to settle for certain things. Now, I want to get straight to the biggest challenge for the 3-5. So, we're talking about someone who kind of goes through life not from A to B, but from A to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, X, Y, Z, and then gets to where it needs to go. And other people will really be like, why the frick does it take so long? Like, why does your path look like this? Why do you fail so much, Why is your trial so insanely diverse? What kind of God made you and equipped you for this? This is insane. But this is inherently the beauty about this very life path. There's such a, and this is just speaking from my own heart, because I've gone through a lot of trials myself. I can really feel for these people, and I see these people all the time, and both my parents have this. There's this, what is there? I want to just check it out and go. What is behind this corner? I'll take a different route. There's this really big energy of, I want to try new things because this is boring. Oh, I want to dip my toe here. Oh, this person bores me. Well, let's experiment with the next one. Myself, as a Taurus, I'm all about deep commitment, deep. I don't even know these kind of words, but just insanely deep commitments, and have reliability. When I meet the third lines who, are still haven't found the how important it is to have deep stability and commitment and reliability with someone, they will continue to experiment with different kinds of people, and in some sense treat people as kind of like an experimentation, because they want to get to know, they want to experience what this person is like. So oftentimes it can feel as if they don't really have the highest and best interest in you, because the third lines just have this kind of lab, like, I want to test, I want to try, I want to dip in, but I don't want to fully dip in and get lost, because I still want to have the freedom to experience my trial, So yeah, like, these people will go through life until they will just honestly get exhausted. I've gained a lot of wisdom, but now, like, I would really want to just rest and settle, So, that is something that I experience a lot with the third lines. And again, excuse me if there's any projections, it's just I've witnessed this a lot in my own life, and I stand a lot for a deep commitment. I don't believe that other I just don't believe other expressions of love are of the uttermost innocence and purity. So that is just something that I really feel I need to share with every third line when it comes to relationships. So that's just honestly who I am, my integrity, my values, what I stand for, and what I just experience all the freaking time. So again, more conscious martyr, third line, there is this sense of, I have literally just experienced the most horrible sickness. I just want to get the story of my father, for example. He worked in an industrial company, and he worked a lot with cement, if that's a word in English, like concrete, and like he would just work, whatever. Like he just did so many different kinds of things, and he was like kind of helping the engineers as well for the machines. So he showed me a few times like all these crazy machines that are turning, and it's like whoa, like big engines and stuff. He's all about engines. He's a mechanic, you know. So he has a very big arsenal of knowledge because he has experimented a lot, and he has a very interesting life path of, you know, like just being discarded and abandoned when he was 15 years old, and like just go into the world, figure it out yourself. So he had to really stand on his own feet on a really young age, you know. So this guy has a lot of interesting stories to tell. And, you know, I'm very sure he has touched a lot of people because I know he loves sharing his stories, which is really beautiful. He's an emotionally defined person. So he does put this wisdom, this emotional depth to it in some sense. Now he's a Sag, you know. Sagittarius are mostly in not only are the 3/5s very attractive people, and their the body are kind of like this, like they're very deeply seductive, attractive people. So carry this into your business if you're a 3/5. You know, like I need to tell you that make use of this attraction field that you have. But I'll get into the 5th line in a bit. Anyway, my father, he's a very attractive man, you know, especially growing up, like his body build, and just he really doesn't, like, he just loves to show that physicality of expression of him. Now, of course, the physicality in his face, everything is not who he really is. Our bodies are a mask. It's a projection of certain states and parts of the depth of the infiniteness of the universe and consciousness that the soul is choosing to consciously wear as a mask to, you know, not only catalyze certain projections and reactions and experiences and you know, the interminglement of the fullness of life experience that we then experience with and through the other by ourselves. This is just kind of the energy of the 3/5, you know. So make use of that seductiveness and attractiveness to you. So my father in this he experienced a lot of deep, insane accidents for, you know, like, what do you believe in now? A lot of shamans believe that everything happens for a reason, that everything is in some sense destined and you know, is an unfoldment of what we need, and what our soul chooses. But I'm still leaving that a lot every day to the question side of me, despite that I have a very fixed mind. So one day, like, he came home and he shared the story that, like, his colleague, he was very convinced, and the way he spoke about it, and he's a very honest man. He said he was standing somewhere working on something, and there was this. There are a lot of like cranes in this industrial thing to like carry one thing to the other. So there was this indoor crane, you know, and on top of the ceiling, like there are all kinds of like wires and stuff, and like this crane thing would like be hanging down to take the concrete things that are made and constructed, you know, whatever it is for, like for underground, for the flow of water, for the cables, you know, like just these structures that need strong housing. And this guy, he held it, this other colleague of him, he held it somewhere and he just kind of like dropped it. And my father said, knowing that he was standing there in the place where these things dangle, you know, and he let it out of his hands, and this hook of the crane made out of steel literally like hit my father's head, like from a distance, like bang, and it brought like a concussion to my father. And he came home, and you know, he didn't go to any hospital or anything, he just went home, and he was really disoriented, you know, and I'm glad that he came home. And it was a big hit, like a tremendous like shock to him. Like, I don't know if he has the gate 58 of shock, but he has experienced a lot of shock. You know, with the gate 58, it's if it's dangling to your gate 25, there's an initiation energy, but I don't want to get too much into that. But it was a big shock to him, and I saw when he came home, like my mother was also still, it was a Wednesday, so my mother always had like days off. And I was at home earlier that day I was like, I don't know, like 12 or something, or 13, and saw his head bleeding, and I was like really worried and like, holy shit, like what is really happening here? So these are big experiences, and what I really like and what I dislike is the challenge of the 3-5 is that we get these kind of experiences, might even be catastrophic, like I said, like car accidents, like just the most insane things that just your body and your experience is just being thrown at. And I don't want to provoke any fear. It's just really the path of the 3-5. And, know that, I don't want to dismiss pains, physical pains, but it is important for the third line, especially consciously, to be able to move on, to integrate these experiences and not be bitter and carry the unresolvedness and the pity and the self-destructiveness and harm and, oh, my life is so shit, and like I experienced this and I just cannot get over it, like we don't level up from it. We are still carrying the mental burdens and the negativity from these circumstances, and then we experience the next one, and we are not ready for the next one. We don't feel the sense of excitement and this adventurous side and this playful, quiet, innocent, open eyes wonder, oh, what am I about, what is going to happen today? It's more like, I just so it's so important for the 3-5s. Go through these crazy experiences, reflect, feel the emotions that is needed and the shock in your body, and calm your nervous system and allow it to feel relaxed again, so it's ready just for the next adventures. Now, it doesn't have to be catastrophic. Create your own personal strategies in order to deliver that and help others, because you have just gone and experimented all kinds of things to get to what works for you. Today I was even contemplating, wow, like, people just through years, like eventually something works for them and they'll stick to it more, and this is called a personal system, and it's deeply attractive. Now, here's the 5th line, and I talked about this a lot in my past video, the 5-1. I am a 5-1, as I carry that. So the 5th line is the heretic, it's the projection field, people putting you on a pedestal. You are the savior, you are the hero. Having this on the unconscious side is, I walk through life and I'm slowly awakening to the fact that people are projecting all kinds of things on me. They don't necessarily see me for the truth of who I am. And it takes a long time for me, like I've experienced at least 1-2 weeks, and they say in the human design community it's 3 weeks, but for me it's 1 or 2 weeks until someone actually knows me a little bit. Especially if you're emotionally defined, like there's a sense of depth to you, and it takes time for that to unravel and come out. So, with the 5th line on unconscious side, you're realizing that, oh wow, like not only am I very influential and I have this my camera but there is this sense of me feeling other people's expectations, feeling other people's crisis. I feel that other people are looking at me. The fifth line is designed to be looked at. It is designed to be seen. It's kind of like this karmic mirror. People project all kinds of fluff onto you. And the fifth lines, don't take this negatively, but the fifth lines have been on top of the diagram of influential leaders. These are the Egyptian freaking kings and queens, the pharaohs. Like, these are what people think are gods in human form. And I walked in Arequipa. I lived in Peru for 2 years. This guy came up to me. I was meditating, just lying on the ground, meditating all the time. And he came up to me and he said, "Oh, yo pienso que eres Jesús, like eres Dios." And he was so convinced that I was God and Jesus. And I looked at it and I'm like, holy shit, you know, like, I experienced people like think I'm not really like this, but like think I'm the devil. And other people like just think I'm about to be their hero and their savior and God. Well, guess what? No, that's not true. You put me on a pedestal. So the fifth line, especially unconsciously, is realizing like, oh, I feel that there is this side of me that is not only deeply seductive and attractive and very appealing in a lot of ways. You know, there's this charm to the fifth line, which again brings into your messaging, your personal brand, if that's what you're doing, your entrepreneurship journey for your business. But the fifth line, because of all these projections of, are you willing and able to help me? Can you help me out of this crisis? There is the potential. There is the potential. There is the potential. Might this person be this kind of person that feels what I'm feeling? Might this person have what it takes? Might this person know what I want to know? There's so much endless possibility. The fifth lines know how to present themselves in so many diverse ways. Oh my gosh. But they are most influential when they are honest and truthful and vulnerable. From the start. Repels people that can't meet their unrealistic expectations. This is the key word. Set boundaries. Know your worth. Know yourself. Know that you can provide solutions for everyone. And know that not all projections of you are true. Most are not true. Some people think you are the devil. Some people think you are Jesus. O como Dios y puedes ayudar. No. No. You can't help everyone. Stop people pleasing. And I know, it's the fifth line, so much experiences of people expecting me to bring them practical solutions. Now, when we talk about the fifth line, we are talking about the humanitarian. The fifth lines are here to help larger scales and groups of communities. Strangers. You deliver most impact to strangers. That's just the way it is. You have the potential to help the projections of the people's problems of strangers the most. So it's not that you work superficially only to help this kind of people, but really rely on your personal arsenal as a 3-5. Rely on your expertise, on your wisdom. People will naturally come to you with their problems. Are you able to help me? Do you have the ability? And take your time, especially if you're emotionally defined. Feel it out. Am I able to fulfill this projection? Am I able to help this? Because if not, people will freaking feel insanely disappointed at times. And I know the emphasis is relatively extreme, what I had just expressed. However, I know it feels devastating. That's why the fifth lines need so much space, because they go through life and they feel the first thing they say to everyone near them is, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? What do you want from me? Because so many people feel insanely disappointed in the fifth lines. Put them on a pedestal. Oh, he's not the person that I thought he was, and I'm thinking and hoping he was. Oh, this person is not the Taylor Swift. She's a 5'1" projector. Oh, this is not Miley Cyrus, you know? Whitney Houston. And then insane despair, disappointment. And it, don't take those things personal. It was just an illusion. It was just a projection of people trying to see that, are you this? Well, you know. So from the get-go, share who you really are. This is who I am, this is what you get. Stop playing the faulty games. So, you know, be extra compassionate for the setbacks that you have, you know, and that going through all these routes from A, B, C, D, E, you reap so much wisdom from that. And even if it takes longer to get to where you want to go, your path is just the way your path is. And have self-care for that. When expectations of other people get too overwhelming from your fifth line, be clear on what you can offer and your responsibility. Be careful of taking responsibilities that actually don't align with you. You know, I've had people come to me with certain crises that I had no expertise to help them out of, so I would have to deny them, you know. These things oftentimes happen. So yeah, this was the video. Like, I deeply honor you, the 3-5 lines, or if you're someone that is just learning about the 3-5, thank you for visiting my YouTube channel. I love talking about these kind of things. You know, I honor you for your resilience as a 3/5 holder, and someone that is really here to bring practical solutions to the world and create deep, lasting, heroic impact for the world. And you carry that energy in your heart. You know, you carry so much wisdom inherently in the fifth line. You know, the fifth line says things to people that nobody could ever think, like, how can you say something so right and correct to this group right now? Like, they just know what to say in some sense. I experienced a lot of fifth line people, especially when they have it consciously. There's something magical about their voice and their throat. All fifth lines have a healing voice. Utilize that. Speak up about the things, the problems, what you have experienced to be drastic errors that you don't stand by. Speak those into the world. Make these known to a large group of people, and you are a very insanely influential person. Know that your path isn't always linear and that there will be setbacks, but just be extra kind to yourself and learn to enjoy the truly magical life that you have as a 3/5. Really, 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 you know, continue to stay optimistic. I do personal readings. I love giving personal readings. You know, you can just reach out. I have an Instagram, working on my website right now. I'm working on an offer for people who want to build their first course, who want to truly step into their power and understand the mechanics of fractals in human design and how that can help people message to their specific ideal client. Make sure you stay in touch, because this is truly the most powerful offer to help someone go from, why am I not being seen and recognized in my work? Where is my personal brand? Where is my audience? How can I achieve financial passive income and freedom through my knowledge, create an offer that feels authentic, that feels true to me, that feels like this is destined and my purpose, that feels nearly effortless. I swear, it feels nearly effortless because it is just inherently aligned with the people that you serve, and there's a clear path to who you are messaging to and selling to and what you are here to bring to the world. It's in-depth knowledge and clarity. Now, I myself, I've studied business for 5 years in like education and applied it to myself since I was 18. So 7 years I have been in entrepreneurship world, failed a lot. So I will be putting a lot of that into this offer. If you're interested, like just reach out if you want to know more, or if you want to talk. I'm a guide, especially for transformation, embodiment, and I use human design and astrology as well. But I just love listening, holding space, and reach out and see if I have what it takes to meet your depth. See you in the next one. Ciao.